Okay, just a little bit more on the Frank Warren DAZN deal. I alluded to this in the video I did the other day. The possibility that Frank Warren signing with DAZN might make Eddie Hearn irrelevant. Now, the most dedicated Matchroom fanatics instantly dismissed that notion and said, no way, Eddie Hearn is a global promoter. Yes, Frank Warren's built a big stable in the UK, but Eddie Hearn's got people like Jerome Ennis, he's got Dimitri Bivol, he's got, a bunch of other guys stateside, even if his stable is thin in the UK now. But here we have confirmation that Frank Warren is now going to start doing shows in the US. And since he's taken over in the UK, is it a stretch of the imagination to think that he may well take over in terms of from Eddie Hearn in the US as well? Because he's got momentum behind him right now. I have to imagine that DAZN may believe in Frank Warren more than Eddie Hearn. Because what's Eddie Hearn really producing for DAZN right now? By way of stars, by way of numbers. What's he producing? You guys tell me. Yeah, he wants to do things with Jerome Ennis, but he hasn't done anything yet. Dimitri Bivol is a very good fighter, but he's not a star. Yeah, he beat Canelo, but he hasn't inherited Canelo's place as a cash cow, has he? So that is what that is. And how long is Dimitri Bivol even going to stay in the sport? He might only want to fight a rematch with Beterbiev and sail off into the sunset. We shall see. But here you see a quote from Frank Warren. He said, "It's a global deal that we've done that covers all countries, and we will be doing more dates and broadening our horizons." And of doing shows in the US, he says, yeah, it's likely we want to do shows in the US. That's the direction, obviously, my son, and where we want to go. I go back, I keep saying this, I know I sound like an old fart. I go back to the days I did a lot of shows on HBO. We did a lot of shows on Showtime from over here, over the years. It helped build Ricky Hatton, Joe Calzaghe, Frank Bruno. We put all those fights on over the years and we launched Showbox. So what he's talking about is a lot of Frank Warren shows from back in the days with Hatton, Calzaghe and all that were broadcast in America on Showtime and HBO. Okay, so he says with all that experience, it should be fairly seamless putting shows on in the US. So yeah, he might make Eddie Hearn completely irrelevant. This is business at the end of the day. Eddie Hearn had a good run. He was doing fantastically well, but he seems to be, going into a bit of a trough with his business right now. And Frank Warren is in the ascendancy. So it is what it is.